Hey, what's up, good people? I pray that you're having a great day. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. I was supposed to be having a meeting right now, and the meeting never showed up. So I decided I would just do a live real quick to kind of give my emphasis and my focus for this week. Personally, I haven't allowed a lot of people into this personal space of my growth, my addressing, where I went wrong. Oh, and if you haven't checked out the Commerce Podcast, there is a new episode. There's a new episode entitled 10 Ways to Forgive Yourself. And that's something that I've been working through, and that's something that I've been processing. And, but I've just been in this space of trying to become better, right? And, and that has required me to be more honest with myself because I think it's where I went wrong for years on top of years is tried to be honest with people when I first was not honest with myself and wasn't honest about the things that was plaguing me, that was bothering me, that was really um, getting under my skin, or things that throughout my life had been a struggle and a bearing on me in a negative way. I've spent majority of my life being a people pleaser, and when I say that, um, I have said numbers and numbers and numbers of times that it's impossible. Well, let me say it this way: wherever you find a people pleaser, you're probably going to find someone that, I'm not going to say liar, but someone that lies. And mainly because they're going to always try to appease everybody else. So they're going to forsake themselves. So they may be either lying to themselves or lying to the person about what they can do. Because somebody asks you to do something, even though you can't do it, you're going to tell them that you can because you don't want to let people down. You'll stay in spaces too long. You'll stay in relationships too long. And I know for a lot of people that are people pleasers, especially guys, you'll want to be done with a situation or break up with someone, but so afraid to be the bad guy because you're such a people pleaser that you will stay in it for the sake of not being looked at as the bad guy. And so a part of becoming better is addressing the things that I've been afraid to address within myself, to say, hey, I don't like this about me. And I don't know about you, but one of the most disheartening things is for you to sit with certain things and certain patterns that you have done and that you've created, to say, man, I do not like this about myself. And to be honest enough with yourself to say, I don't like this about myself. And then you start to find where you're starting to do it, And so this week, as I'm putting an emphasis on myself to be better, and you may hear me breathing a little bit harder. I'm coming off of a sickness, and yeah, my lungs are doing something interesting in this recovery process. So, but in this thing of trying to become better, is me being honest with myself, and then me gauging the patterns that I'm finding myself consistently making, that find myself in these negative spaces, right? Like, um, um, I was teaching one time, and I was teaching on forgiveness. And as I was teaching on forgiveness, I said that we have to be very careful, because if we're not careful, what usually will happen is the very thing that you don't forgive, you have the capability to become. Whatever you don't forgive, you possibly have the capability to become. And what I meant by that was the dynamic of me, myself, and my father. And there were certain things about my father that I absolutely hated that he did to my mom. I watched him do certain things to my mom. I watched him, date other women while being with my mom. Um, and I was so angry at him for hurting my mom in that way, right? Um, and But then I watched that now that pattern of, dating multiple people became a thing for me without any commitment to one person, but just dating multiple people became a pattern for me. And it's because I think it was a level of unforgiveness that I held on to without understanding the consistent pattern of my father, that now where I did not have a level of trying to understand or trying to gain compassion, but now I want that same understanding and compassion, right? And so we have to be very clear. I mean, we have to be very careful that in our anger or a level of unforgiveness in our judgment, that we don't become the very thing that we are having an issue with. You know what I'm saying? And so this week, just to give you some areas for myself of how I'm trying to become better, that it may help you, that this week I am trying to put an emphasis on, for one, being more honest with myself, two, making sure that I hold myself accountable to not just the assignments, tasks, and money making opportunities that I said I'm going to do, but hold myself accountable to taking the breaks and um, um, self care that I said that I'm going to do. A lot of times we find ourselves in certain patterns because we have not taken care of ourselves. And so, out of a level of frustration, out of a level of burnout, out of a level of being tired, and also sometimes being bored, you find yourself in certain situations that you probably would have never found yourself in because it was an absence of a level of purpose that you should have been active in, that you were not active in. And because you are robbed of being active within that purpose, now you're finding yourself trying to make yourself busy by doing other things. All right. And so these breaks are necessary. So a lot of times the only thing that I have, y'all, I'm hot. And my air is on. Because I that's how I know I'm still not feeling well. But um but I think it's imperative that that we do the work to take the breaks that are needed for us to um, um, recalibrate so that we can see ourselves the way we possibly need to see ourselves, and not just moving out of what our body is trying to tell us to do, because your body is not smarter than your spirit, even though it may be stronger at times, depending on where you are in your spiritual walk. Um, and then lastly, what I'm trying to do this week, man, is I'm trying to take more time to really read and dive into certain aspects of my reading. And so, and also I'm writing. So I'm in the process of, I've been writing this book for a long time, and but it's another book that I've been just adding a chapter here and there, and so I'm in the process of doing that. But I wanted to give you all that. Hopefully this week, I don't know what your focuses are. I don't know what your emphasis is this week, but these are mine. And I hope that it helps you, man. And I'm just in the process of trying to be better. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be better. And I've come to the realization that I'm no better than anybody else, but I am different than everybody else. That's a word by itself. I'm no better than anybody else, but I am different than everybody else. And you are different too. You're different from everybody else as well. So doesn't mean that, you're better than your family. You're just different than your family, and rightfully so, everybody is. And so I think we have to embrace that difference. And as you embrace that, I think it it gives you the space to say yes to certain things, say no to certain things, move on from certain things, and do certain things better. So I'm in that process. I'm about to jump off here, but I wanted to do this because, like I said, I had a meeting that didn't show up, and I was like, yo, I already had my stuff up and running. And I was like, let me just drop 10 to 15 minute live. I see you guys' comments. I haven't put them on the screen. I just wanted to just let it run. I did just want to just come on here to encourage us that this week, man, put some intentionality behind your growth and put some intentionality behind your efforts to become the best version of yourself that you possibly can become. I'm in no competition with anybody else, but I am in completion of trying to be the best version of myself. And so I want to complete the version that God desired for me to become, no matter how many bad decisions, no matter how many mistakes, no matter how many failures. I just want to become better wholeheartedly. And that's my challenge. We got some things that are on the horizon that we're working on, but everything, is hinged upon me being better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told myself this past week, I no longer want to put events, accolades, material things above my level of healing, my level of growth, and my level of just being a better person. And that's the challenge for me. I have messed up a lot, man, and through those mess ups, I have allowed myself to live in a place of shame for some years. But the only goal now is because you can't change what once was, but you can change what possibly is. And so I've just been challenging myself to address the things that I can address, deal with the demons that I have made friends with, and step out better each and every day. So that's my charge and my challenge to you as well, that you do the same thing. And man, I love y'all, and I pray that you all have an amazing week. And if this has helped you in any way, share it with somebody, send it to somebody, all the things. All right, y'all have a great night and enjoy your week. Happy Sunday.